Now, today we're going to be going over the 2018 Jeep JL Wrangler, and we're going to be discussing the top 5 complaints that I hear about on a daily basis. We're going to go over each and every one of them. We're going to talk about, can they be fixed on the 2019 year model, or are we going to have to live with them? Stick around. Welcome back. My name is Brandon Haneline, your Jeep informant. Now today we're going to be going over the 5 top complaints that I hear about on a daily basis, whether it be through YouTube, email, Facebook, text message, or just at the dealership. So let's get started. Now before we do, for those of you who haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that down below. Make sure you click the notification bell. All right, starting out at number 5, the auto park feature. Wow, I know this is for safety, guys. I understand why the government does this. I understand why they're doing it. You know, they don't want people getting run over by their own vehicles, since it is electronic shifting. And to park, there's no actual physical connection between the shifter and the transmission. So, you know, if the door opens, okay, and the seat belt is not connected, and you release the brake pedal and it's in drive, it's going to go in park. Okay, now if you're under a certain miles per hour, I did a video on that. I'll leave that link up in the top right corner to show you more about that feature. But that is one feature that is just maddening, and it's very frustrating, especially for anyone that's maybe trying to back up. They open the door to look out, or just open the door to get out. It is very, very frustrating. I catch myself getting brake checked all the time with that feature. So what can we do about this feature, and how can we maybe work around it? There's not really much we can do to work around it. You know, you might be able to plug in the seat belt and sit on top of the seat belt and do other things. You know, now the best fix so far for this problem is actually the Taser JL. They've actually got a feature in there where it disables the auto park feature. So if you want to know more about them, check that out at zautomotive.com. Now, the Taser JL does a lot more other things, and we'll be talking about a little more through this video. Okay, number 4. Now, this is actually not a problem. It's just a question I get asked every day. When is the diesel coming out? When's the diesel coming out? When's the diesel coming out? They say 2019, okay. If you were to look it up in Dealer Connect on the website there, through the technician portal, you'll see a drop down for that in the 2018 year model. But that doesn't mean that it's obviously available, because we can't even order it yet. Now, I'll tell you what I do know. I do know this. I do know that the trucks are having a major issue with the sooting up problem, just from standard driving, okay? Due to the quality of fuels here in America, due to the emissions standards for the government, okay? Our programming, the software, is being reviewed right now through the EPA and is not being approved anytime soon, I don't think. So that's what the holdup is on the diesel, I think, and that's what I've heard. So, you know, is it going to be in the JT, the truck? I think it will be in the JT and the truck, and I think it will be in the Wrangler. When, guys, I don't know when. I wish I could tell you more. Obviously, when I do see or hear of anything, obviously I'm going to post a video on it. Now, the JL Wrangler forums is a great place to get a lot of that information. They seem to be always one step ahead of everybody, so make sure you check out the JL Wrangler forums also. All right, now 3rd on the list, this awesome Hurricane cooling fan. Wow. If you haven't heard it, hang on one second. I'm gonna show you. All right, this here is a nice quiet running JL. This is actually a 2-liter. Sounds good. This is actually, I think, on low, maybe. It's not even really fast yet. Now guys, this cooling fan is really loud, but I will have to say this. The 2-liter seems to be a little quieter than the 3.6. All right, so if you know me, I'm going to find out why this 2-liter is quieter than the 3.6. So let's take a closer look at this fan blade and the actual design of it. So as you can see here, the fan blade has this arch to it, and then the arch goes to the outside rim of that blade. And if we look closer, you can see that right there. And I'm going to show you the 3.6 and show you that the 3.6 is actually different than the 2-liter. All right, now here's the 3.6 liter. Let's take a look at this fan blade and see what the difference is. You're going to see a difference, and you're going to be really surprised, guys. Check this out right here. So look at there. Look at that. It is totally different than the 2-liter. Look at it. The design is just completely different. Let's compare the two. I'm going to put them side by side. All right, guys, as you can clearly see, the 2-liter is different than the 3.6. Why in the world are they designed different? I'm not really sure. I don't know. I did find out there are two different part numbers, but what I didn't find out is, will the 2-liter fan fit on the 3.6? I don't know. Maybe that's something we can look at in the future. The 2-liter, I do know, has 3 cooling systems, which means it has 3 radiators. That's correct. It has 3 radiators. The 2-liter has 3 radiators. So there could be something to do with that. But hopefully we'll find out in the future soon enough what the difference is between these two and why they're different. All right, number 2 on the list is actually going to be the stop start feature. Now, a lot of people do not like the stop start feature, and you know, across the board, we're talking about Grand Cherokee, Wrangler, Cherokee, Pacifica, you know, Durango. Nobody really likes. I mean, there's some people out there that like the stop start. Okay, I actually even heard of one guy saying that it actually saved his life because he had a manual, a straight drive Wrangler. Okay, and he ended up stalling it out because of the stop start, and sure enough, someone come straight through the intersection there. So he said it saved his life. You know, I'm glad for that. I'm glad stop start for that situation. But all the other situations, it about causes people to get in wrecks all the time. There's just too much delay there. Okay, so if they could speed it up. Now, some of the other higher end vehicles, Mercedes, Lexus, and stuff like that, I think theirs is a little quicker than ours. So, you know, maybe we can do some improvement, but until then, it still has a little bit too much delay, and just a lot of people don't like it. A lot of people don't like their car stopping in the middle of an intersection. Now, what can we do to disable the stop start system? Well, first thing is you can just push the button on the dash. But a lot of people forget to do that, okay? Second thing is you can buy what they call a JL taser. I talked about that earlier in this video. Now, the taser can do multiple things, and one of those things is to disable the stop start. Basically, it pushes the button for you. It literally doesn't push it, but it does basically enable the disconnect for the stop start. Now, if you saw my previous video, you know that the Jeep JL Wrangler has 2 hood sensors. And if you just pull this up right here, pull this up and disconnect this hood sensor right here, then you will actually get a message on the instrument cluster saying that the stop start is disabled. Moving on to the number 1 complaint I have had on this Wrangler, and I get this on a daily basis, is the steering. Earlier in the beginning, it was the steering locking up. Why is the steering so tight? The steering's locking up, steering's tight. Now we have the opposite issue. The steering's too loose. There's no more complaints about the steering being too tight. They come out with a service bulletin for that, and then the gearboxes got on back order, and then they seem to I think they figured out what the problem was, and I think they overcorrected the issue. Now, you know, I feel bad for Jeep because before they had people complaining about the steering's too tight. Now they got people complaining about steering too loose. Doesn't seem like they can win, but I'm not really sure if they're going to do anything about this now or not. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Is the steering will have excessive play. So you do like this, and you get all this wiggle movement here. You know, you look like you're on TV driving down the road, moving back and forth, but you have no input from the steering wheel. The vehicle is not turning left or right, and you can move it that much. So let's see what actually has happened. Now, if you remember me talking about this subject not too long ago. This vehicle has an aluminum gearbox, okay? Now, what has happened is the aluminum gearbox when the vehicles are first built, it was a little bit too tight and it was binding up when it got extremely hot. Now, I could be wrong, but these gearboxes went on national back order big time, and I think they went through and made all the changes. As you can see here, there are markings on this right here to there to there. So what they're wanting to see is, has this moved? Well guys, that's my top 5 complaints that I get on a daily basis on the Jeep JL Wrangler. Now, I hope that this has maybe enlightened you if you are looking to purchase a new Jeep JL Wrangler. Now, I'll have to say, this is probably the best Wrangler they've made. It is a great vehicle. Don't let all the internet hoopla, if that's even a word, bring you down on the JL. Go out, test drive it for yourself. You're gonna love it. This thing is great, okay? There may be a couple hiccups here and there, but what vehicle doesn't have that, especially on the first year model, okay? So go to your local dealer, check one out, go test drive it, especially this 2-liter, man. This 2-liter is a beast, dude. It is so fast. Well guys, I want to thank you all for watching, and remember to check out the website, jeepinformant.com. I've got some new stuff on there. I've got some new t-shirts. I've got a new solar phone charger out there, and I got some other products coming, one especially for the JL, and I can't wait to show you that. That'll be in about another month. So have a great day, guys. We'll talk to you later. We'll see you next time.